another sleepy true crime story. Before we get started, let me know where you're listening from tonight and what time it is in the comments below. Whether you're tucked into bed at 10 p.m. or drifting into midnight thoughts at 3 a.m., I'm so glad you're here. If you enjoy winding down with true crime stories told softly, be sure to subscribe for more weekly bedtime episodes. Tonight, we enter a chilling tale, wrapped in charm, manipulation, and horror. A man who wore the face of a friend, but held darkness behind his smile. One of the most infamous serial killers in American history, and one whose case forever changed how we understand evil. This is the story of Theodore Robert Bundy. But don't worry, you're safe now. Let's begin. Ted Bundy was born on November 24th, 1946, in Burlington, Vermont. His early life was shaped by secrets. He was raised by his grandparents, but told they were his parents. His real mother, Eleanor Louise Cowell, posed as his sister. It wasn't until later that Ted discovered the truth, and the psychological cracks began to form. From the outside, Ted seemed like any other kid. Smart, polite, well-dressed. But inside, something darker stirred. By adolescence, he was shoplifting, peeping into windows, lying compulsively, and yet, no one suspected a thing. In school, he was popular, well-liked. He even volunteered on a suicide crisis hotline in his 20s, speaking gently to people on the edge of despair, while hiding a horrifying double life. That was Ted Bundy's gift, a mask of normalcy, a wolf in a pressed suit. Ted attended multiple universities, beginning at the University of Puget Sound in 1965, later transferring to the University of Washington to study psychology. He was clean-cut, driven, and soon politically active. He volunteered for a Republican gubernatorial campaign. He even applied to law school. To those around him, Ted was the kind of man parents liked. Handsome, articulate, ambitious. He even had a long-term girlfriend, often referred to by her pseudonym, Stephanie Brooks. But when she broke up with him, calling him immature and lacking direction, something inside him shattered. Years later, he would seek her out again, rekindle the romance, win her trust, only to ghost her without a word. Control. That's what Bundy wanted. Control over people, their perception, and ultimately, their fate. The murders began quietly. In 1974, women started disappearing across Washington and Oregon. Young, white, long dark hair parted down the middle. College students, just like Stephanie. One by one, they vanished. Linda Ann Healy, Donna Gail Manson, Susan Elaine Rancourt. No signs of forced entry, no struggle. Then, reports began to surface. A charming man, often with a sling or crutches, asking women for help. Loading books, moving a sailboat, holding groceries, always alone. always polite, and always the last person those women ever spoke to. July 14th, 1974. A warm summer day at Lake Sammamish State Park. Thousands of people were out enjoying the sun. And in the crowd, Ted hunted. He approached women throughout the day, introducing himself simply as Ted. He wore a fake cast and asked for help unloading a sailboat from his tan Volkswagen Beetle. 2 women, Janice Ott and Denise Naslund, disappeared that day. Witnesses remembered the name, the car, the face. It was the first time police had a solid lead. And yet, Ted kept killing. By 1975, Bundy had expanded his spree. Utah, Colorado, Idaho. He enrolled at the University of Utah Law School, but at night he prowled. Carol Duranch was one of the few to escape. She was approached by a man claiming to be a police officer. He said her car had been broken into. She got into his vehicle, but sensed something was wrong. When he pulled over and tried to handcuff her, she fought back, kicked, screamed, escaped. Her story would later help convict him, but for now, he vanished again. In August of 1975, Bundy was pulled over by police in Salt Lake City. His car, a tan Beetle, contained a ski mask, handcuffs, a crowbar, an ice pick, and rope. He was arrested, and soon linked to multiple disappearances. But Ted Bundy wasn't finished. In June 1977, while being held in Colorado, he escaped from custody by jumping out of a second-story courthouse window during a break in his preliminary hearing. He was missing for 6 days before being recaptured. Then, just 6 months later, he escaped again. This time, he walked right out of jail after sawing through a ceiling panel. He stole clothes, caught a flight, and disappeared. January 1978. Bundy resurfaced in Tallahassee, Florida. He rented a room under the name Chris Hagen at a boarding house near Florida State University. He was broke, angry, out of control, and on the night of January 15th, he entered the Chi Omega sorority house. What happened next was pure horror. In under 15 minutes, he attacked 4 women. 2, Margaret Bowman and Lisa Levy, were killed. The other 2 survived with critical injuries. That same night, he attacked another student just blocks away. Still, somehow, he wasn't caught until just weeks later. February 15th, 1978. Bundy was pulled over once again, this time in Pensacola, Florida, driving a stolen car. He gave a fake name, but the officer saw through it. Ted was arrested for the final time. Back in custody, the full scope of his crimes began to emerge. But Bundy wasn't done trying to charm the world. Ted Bundy's trial was like something out of a movie. Cameras, crowds, national attention. He represented himself in court, questioned witnesses, delivered statements. At times, he joked with reporters. He smiled, laughed, performed, and he proposed to Carol Ann Boone, a former coworker, right in the courtroom. She accepted. During the trial, evidence piled up. Bite marks, hair fibers, witnesses, and finally, in July 1979, Bundy was found guilty of the Chi Omega murders. He was sentenced to death. January 24th, 1989, at 7:16 a.m., Theodore Robert Bundy was executed in Florida's electric chair. Outside the prison, crowds cheered, held signs, sang. For some, it was justice. For others, closure. But for many, the horror lingered. Bundy had shattered the illusion of the nice guy. He taught the world that evil could wear a friendly face. And that's what made him so dangerous. Bundy's case reshaped law enforcement. It highlighted the importance of interstate cooperation. It led to better profiling of serial killers, and it forced America to face a chilling reality. Monsters don't always look like monsters. Sometimes they look like the boy next door. But tonight, as we close this chapter, let's remember who this story is really about. The women, the daughters, the sisters, the friends. Linda, Susan, Melissa, Kimberly, Denise, Janice, Georgianne, Margaret, Lisa, and so many more. They were more than victims. They had dreams, families, futures. May their names be remembered, and may their stories continue to be